Hello everybody, this is my top 5 pet peeves video. I was tagged by a Stone who you should go subscribe to. I actually did this before, but it didn't upload properly, and I haven't been doing many videos lately because I've just been sick or extremely tired. I don't know what it is, but recently I haven't been able to get, or I've been getting too much sleep. Like, for every hour I stay awake, I have to get an hour of sleep, and it's really messing with me. So, yeah, when I go to make a video, I'll just be too tired to do it, and I'm not even working that much. Did I say subscribe to A Stone? Anyway, do it anyway. Anyway, top 5 pet peeves. Number 5 would be this radio station here in Australia called Nova. They pretty much play the same 20 or 30 songs over and over again. I think they're the most listened to radio station. I'm not exactly sure. If they're not, they're at least up there. And the only reason they've only been around for a few years, so they're pretty new. And they did this massive advertising campaign to get there, through sponsors and TV networks and stuff, plugging it until it was number 1, or a major radio station. But that's how you do it. But that's not what shits me about them. They play this. They're a top 40 station, which is fine. I can deal with that. But instead of playing top 40 or something, if they play like top 20 or something, or top 20 of the top 40, and then another 10 or so, and they're all pretty much the same song that they play, with a few exceptions, like the same, pop song with the same monotonous drum beat, the doon doon, which is like 90% pop songs. And it drives me nuts. And that's not. And another pet peeve with this station is all the hosts are annoying except for I think one guy who's called Husey, who's a stand-up comedian, and he's pretty good in the morning. But his co-host is a bitch. And another thing with it is there's another radio station called Triple J, and they're a youth and alternative music radio station, and I don't always listen to them, but sometimes, I do when I can't find anything good on. And they're really good for getting in touch and listening to new music and stuff like that, because they do a lot for young artists. But whenever there's a breakthrough artist from Triple J that they've been plugging and playing and playing and playing to sort of, turn into to a big deal, or because they are really good, and people do pick them up, like 3 or 4 months later, Nova will play it and say, first time played on Nova, brand new artists, blah 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 blah, and act like they've never been heard of before. Like this band MGNT, they were Triple J really got behind them and played their music a lot and spoke about them a lot. And then 3 months later, I can remember hearing Nova saying, "Oh, first time up," or 2 or something months later, they said, "Oh, new artist MGNT," and then just started doing the same thing Triple J had already done and acted like they'd never been heard of. And I found that quite irritating, because most of my friends knew who they were or had heard them, and it's just sort of not just rubs me the wrong way. Oh, I've been talking about that for quite a while. Number 4, airports. Early last year, I went to the US, to North Carolina, and that was lots of fun, but it was the first time I'd flown overseas, and everyone's like, don't worry about it, because I was really freaking out about missing flights and stuff, and all that shit, or, flights being late or delayed, and, I had to leave my parents, my ex and all that, and they were like, oh, don't worry about it, it'll be fine. What are the chances your first flight over is going to be like fuck? Because I had to go Melbourne to Sydney, and Sydney to LA, and LA to Washington, DC, and then from there to Greensboro, North Carolina. First flight out of Melbourne, late. From Sydney, we left late because it was the same flight, and then we got to LA a bit late, but we made up some of the time. But I still didn't have enough time for the late flight that was leaving for Washington DC, so I had to rebook it or I had to go see if I could get a flight to North Carolina or whatever, but I couldn't do it. So like, oh, we can book you to a later flight to Washington DC, and I'm like, well, can I get one from there to North Carolina? And they're like, no. and so I had to go to Washington DC, and then I had to get picked up from there. Then on the way back, same shit happened. Everything was late. I had to spend a day extra in the US, and that drove me nuts. I had to stay for a night in a hotel in LA, and I didn't really want to, because everything was so fucking slow. Number 3 is this TV ad or commercial or whatever you call it, depending on where you're from. And it's like, I can't even remember what it's for, but it's like beach toys or some shit. But it has this annoying song, and it's hard to describe, but it's been playing for fucking years. I mean, there's this show that used to be on in the morning, and I still watch it, but it's changed its name and hosts and all that. It's called Cheese TV, and that played all like anime and cartoons and shit like that. And they'd been on since like 94 or something, 95. I'm not exactly sure of when they actually started the show. And it was like a few years after that, because I used to record it if I couldn't, because I watched it because I had to go to school or whatever. And it would, and they started playing this ad, and the ad irritated me even then. And then, I was watching it this morning because I had nothing better to do, because I woke up pretty early, and they're still playing this ad, and it's just been going for years and years and years, and I still don't know what it's about. I'm like, something, I don't know. It just shows a lot of footage from the beach and people swimming and shit like that, and it's just got this really irritating song. Some people who live in Australia and who watch Toasted TV, which is what it's called now, will probably know the ad I'm talking about, but it like hasn't changed in years. Or at least it seems to me like it's been around since like 2000 or 2002. But fucking hell. Anyway, number 2, Roadworks. As long as I can remember, or at least for the past couple of years, there has been Roadworks no further than 5 kilometres away from where I live, or I think it will be about 3 miles. Where I live is an area of growth here, like one of the fastest growing areas in Australia, and so they're always doing roadworks to adjust for the increasing population, and it irritates me because they spend months working on one road, like literally months, and nothing gets done. It's sort of just the same as it was before, or it's newer. But it's got like cracks and shit, and it's still because they took so long doing it, and then they have to do it again like 2 or 3 years later. And as I said, I can't go anywhere without being stuck by roadworks, and it drives me insane. You wouldn't be able to tell because I'm pretty relaxed right now. And number 1 is also a driving one, and that's getting called when I drive. I get called and texted more on my mobile phone while I'm driving than I do any other time. When I'm at work, when I'm sitting around doing nothing, I always get called when I'm driving. And I tell the people, between these times, I'm going to be driving. Don't call me, don't text me, just hold off. It always distracts me or whatever, because I'm like, oh, I got a message, who's it from, what's it say? And, that's a problem, I think, but when they call, it's just irritating because I won't answer it, and so I don't like answering calls anyway. I don't just sit there going, because it's on silent, obviously. So I'm sitting there, vibrating and away, and it drives me nuts. It's like half an hour of driving, I'll get like 3 calls and like 2 text messages, all from different people. Get for the rest of the day, no contact from anybody. And the people don't learn either. I tell them, they still do it. Anyway, that's my top 5 pet peeves. I'm not tagging anyone just because I can't be bothered. I can't think of anyone. I don't know. Leave your pet peeves at the bottom or something. And thanks for watching. Bye.